Hello, I'm Debs K. Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to my little studio. Okay, so this week, what happens? You've done a little bit of a rough painting, but you did a wet underpainting, so you can't kind of brush it out. This is just a quick tip to show you how you can get it back to a nice, fresh, blissful piece of paper. Okay, so as you can see, this is a painting that I did some while ago, and this is on Lux Archival sanded paper. It really wasn't going right, my lavender just was looking horrible and I just didn't like it. So rather than waste the piece of paper, because obviously, it costs a little bit of money, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this back down to a neutral colour that I can then paint a brand new landscape over, or whatever I want over it. What I've done so far is basically what I did was literally put it under a tap, ideally outside if you can, had a little nail scrubbing brush and took off the majority of the pastel there. But as you can see on this one, I obviously did a wet underpainting to start with, so I've still got quite a lot of colour and stuff going on there, and maybe I don't want to do a scene in this, with such strong sort of lines and things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as I say, pretty much all the pastels off now. If you move it around, there's nothing coming off. So I've got it back to as far as I can on this one. And what I'm going to do is I've basically just got these are kitty paints, just gouache. You can get them. I got these from the little Chinese store or whatever. Not very expensive. Got a white and a black, and literally more white, a little bit of black, and I've mixed it up to kind of a watery consistency. I don't know if you can see on the angle there because my camera, but it's kind of a bit watery. So I've got that mixed up, and what I'll do first is I'll now wet my paper down again. It just makes the paint go a little bit further, so you don't have to put so much on, because obviously we want to kind of keep our tooth of the paper as much as possible. So the least we can kind of put on there to cover all that stuff up, the better, really. So then literally just take a household paintbrush and cover it over. Now the thing with gouache is it's an opaque. When it dries, it's opaque. Unlike watercolour. Watercolour is sort of most of the colours are translucent. You've got the occasional opaque one, but in general with gouache, your colours will dry opaque. So that's what I'm wanting to do in this instance. When I want to salvage this bit of paper, don't want to lose it, but want to give myself a nice clean working surface to go from. And so as you can see, just backwards and forwards a couple of times, like that. Now that's going to give me a surface. You can still see a little bit there. If you're really against what you're seeing underneath, if it's going to confuse you when you come to do your painting, you can just let that dry, come back and give it another go. You can let this dry naturally. If ideally keep it on your board like this, and then it's going to dry fairly flat. Or you can obviously take a hairdryer to it if you're impatient to get on and paint. I think I probably will come back and do this one a couple of extra layers, just because I want to keep this really nice and clean so I can paint anything I want on there. But there we go, that's kind of how you do it. If you've got a lot of excess at the bottom, just take a little bit of kitchen roll or something like that and just wipe it off. I've got to be a bit careful here. I haven't got any clean kitchen roll here. Just take it off the bottom here. And obviously you can clean up your easel that way too. All right, so basically that's how you salvage a bit of paper. Really easy. And this is one of the reasons that I sort of, I don't mind. I think paper is so important with pastels to get the right type of paper for the type of painting you want to paint. We'll cover that in another session, and we'll go through some different types of paper and show you what you can do with them. All right, but for the time being, there you go. You've got your toned piece of paper.